Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Hyperloop is an ultra-high-speed ground transportation system for passengers and cargo, proposed as a concept. The system consists of sealed and partially evacuated tubes connecting mobility hubs in large metropolitan areas and pressurized vehicles, usually called pods, which can move at a very high speed. So, in today's video, we will tell you what is Hyperloop technology and how it works. Without further ado, let's begin. How does Hyperloop work? Are you curious about the Hyperloop science and if the hype is warranted? Let's break down how the Hyperloop works and how it could change public infrastructure and transportation. What is the Hyperloop? Hyperloop is a new form of ground transportation currently in development by a number of companies. It could see passengers traveling at over 700 miles an hour in floating pods which races along inside giant low-pressure tubes, either above or below ground. There are two big differences between Hyperloop and traditional rail. Firstly, the pods carrying passengers travel through tubes or tunnels from which most of the air has been removed to reduce friction. This should allow the pods to travel at up to 750 miles per hour. Secondly, rather than using wheels like trains or cars, the pods are designed to float on air skis using the same basic idea as an air hockey table or use magnetic levitation to reduce friction. What are the benefits of Hyperloop? Supporters argue that Hyperloop could be cheaper and faster than train or car travel, and cheaper and less polluting than air travel. They claim that it is also quicker and cheaper to build than traditional high-speed rail. Hyperloop could therefore be used to take the pressure off gridlocked roads, making travel between cities easier and potentially unlocking major economic benefits as a result. What is the history of Hyperloop transportation? The transportation concept has been around since the 17th century, but the term Hyperloop was coined by Elon Musk in a 2013 project brief. Musk open-sourced the idea, outlining his concept without any patents. This has led to several companies becoming major players in Hyperloop R&D, and even students are building prototypes. As a result of having so many players working on Hyperloop development, the speed of innovation has accelerated. Just as the space race in the mid-20th century created a competitive push to reach the moon, the open sourcing of Hyperloop technology has created a competitive fever for a new mode of transportation. How does Hyperloop go so fast? A Hyperloop is able to reach extreme speeds because it addresses one of the most basic rules of physics: friction slows things down. Hyperloop designs rely on creating a low-friction environment within a tunnel or tube. Individual pods seating a small group of people could then travel at extreme speeds through the tubes. Which companies are working on Hyperloop? Several companies and research labs are working on Hyperloop systems and components. Here are four of the biggest players in the industry. 1. Virgin Hyperloop. Virgin Hyperloop, formerly Hyperloop One, is one of the best-funded Hyperloop projects, giving it the most resources for R&D. It's also leading the pack in patents, and in 2020, it completed its first-ever Hyperloop passenger test. One of its main feasibility studies was how to connect Kansas City and St. Louis, Missouri with a Hyperloop track along the I-70 corridor. The company is currently designing full-scale pods that would hold 28-plus passengers. The final infrastructure would have the ability to move 30,000 passengers an hour. The company's timeline is to achieve safety certification by 2025 and carry passenger traffic by 2030. This year, the company will start construction on a $500 million Hyperloop certification center in West Virginia that will have a mile-long test track. 2. Hyperloop TT. Hyperloop Transportation Technologies isn't going it alone. The company has teamed up with other partners in construction and infrastructure. Hyperloop TT may not have as much capital as Virgin Hyperloop, but its business model is to have a broader strategy that builds a coalition with existing industries. Hyperloop TT has a test track in France. It plans to build a Hyperloop between Abu Dhabi and Dubai, with the track becoming operational by 2023. In the U.S., the company is planning to have an operational Hyperloop by 2028, connecting Chicago, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh. This route could potentially unify the region's labor market while reinvigorating regional manufacturing because of the ability to quickly transport goods. If you are enjoying the video, then make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos just like this. 3. SPACEX Elon Musk Hyperloop. Despite Elon Musk having sparked the current Hyperloop fever, Tesla and SPACEX are not doing Hyperloop development. Instead, Musk put the challenge out to the world to develop the technology. However, Musk is still involved in the industry. He built a Hyperloop test track near SPACEX headquarters for student competitions. Additionally, Musk's tunnel digging company could benefit from Hyperloop development. The boring company could be involved in building underground tunnel infrastructure. Currently, Musk is looking at Hyperloop tunnel projects that would connect New York City to Washington, D.C., as well as Los Angeles to San Francisco, and a third tunnel within Texas. 4. JTC20. In 2020, a consortium of European and Canadian Hyperloop companies became another big player in the industry. Collectively working on the issue of international standardization, this joint technical committee will look at the regulations, interoperabilities, and safety. The group includes Hart Hyperloop, Netherlands, Hyper Poland, Transpod, Canada, and Zeleros Hyperloop, Spain. What are the safety risks? Despite the ambitious progress that's already been made, we are still in the early stages of Hyperloop development. Before Hyperloop transportation can become a reality, there are clear safety risks to overcome. The first Hyperloop passenger test reached a top speed of 107 miles per hour in 6.25 seconds. We still don't know the effect that extreme acceleration within an enclosed chamber will have on the human body. Astronauts train their bodies to handle extreme acceleration, and PBS wondered if the Hyperloop experience will be 2 minutes of Puke City. Hyperloop system designs have multiple pods traveling at very high speeds within a single tube. Because the pods are within braking threshold of one another, there's the risk of a very dangerous collision. Obviously, humans need air to live, and the tunnels do not have breathable air. Engineers need to address the safety of the situation when the pods become compromised. Because the tunnel is a near vacuum, a break in the structure would cause it to implode. For example, look at what happens if the air pressure of a railroad tank car vacuum is compromised. The damage is nearly instantaneous. These safety concerns just scratch the surface. Engineers will have to plan for all sorts of contingencies, like heat expansion, earthquakes, or human error. In particular, California and Missouri are the worst places in the country for earthquakes, making seismic safety a priority concern for those two Hyperloop routes. To reduce some safety concerns, initial Hyperloop systems will likely be used for freight and cargo transport. The Hyperloop travels via an efficient electric motor, and friction is reduced in 2 ways. Depressurized tunnels create a near-vacuum environment where almost all of the air has been sucked out. This creates an environment where extremely high speeds are possible because there's minimal aerodynamic drag or wind resistance. In magnetic levitation, maglev causes each pod to hover. This removed the ground friction of wheels or tires that occurs in other modes of ground transportation. This technology is already being used in high-speed bullet trains. In the image above, the magnets in red are for levitation and propulsion. The magnets in blue are for horizontal stabilization. So guys, let me know down in the comments section below, what do you think about Hyperloop technology? For more interesting content, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video.